Like a rat.
Hello, fellow alchemists. Welcome back to our weekly series of our question of the week. Now, today's question is a very interesting one. I'm interested in learning mobile development, and I want to write apps in both iOS and Android, of course. How can I get started? Well, this is a pretty good question, and things have changed quite a bit. A few years ago, I've actually used Cordova. Was okay, not too bad. Now, I've also personally tried to use React Native. That was a little bit of a disaster. It seems like every time I tried to update the framework or add a plugin, remove something, it just kind of broke, and I spent lots of time trying to update it. So just from my personal experience, I don't really recommend that. And also, I don't really recommend Cordova either, because it's just really fallen out of favor. Now, what I do happen to recommend, and I actually highly use, is something called Flutter. Now, Flutter is actually what we would call a UI toolkit that helps you create really, really amazing and just what I would just say are easy to develop UIs. Now, with React Native, what you do is you actually will use, of course, React to just use some native components. But with Flutter, you're actually really drawing things with code. I really don't know how to explain it, but for me, as somebody who does more of a tech person, more of a background, more of a back-end kind of developer, I have to say that Flutter just makes things, even for me, quite easy to create something very beautiful. Now, the nice part about Flutter is that it's quite easy to actually create very, very complex UI and also add animations to it. But the nice part about Flutter, well, the one thing I've noticed is that when you use something like React Native, you actually tend to look more for your own plugins, more for people to create plugins for you. But with Flutter, I've actually created my own plugins. We actually worked on a plugin for reacting with a robot, so it's quite cool. And it was actually that simple. We just wrote something in Java and just connected it with a channel, and it just worked out. Now, the nice part about that is that the best part about Flutter, like what I'm trying to say, is that you can just easily drop down into native code whenever you need to. It's quite simple. And also, when you use Flutter, you're actually writing something native. When you use React Native or you use Cordova or something like that, you're actually using a JavaScript bridge that's actually in between. So it's really not as fast as you are with say, Dart and Flutter than you are with, say, native code and things like that. So Flutter really is quite native, to be honest. I really highly recommend it. Now, I'm saying a lot of good things about Flutter, but I also want to mention the bad things. Okay. Now, the bad thing about Flutter is, of course, you have to learn a new programming language. You have to learn some new techniques. But I think that within a month, you will definitely have everything down, and you can create some really amazing apps. So I recommend that you take a look at Flutter. We'll actually start to make some Flutter tutorials, so this would be a good channel for you to check it out. And so, all in all, I would say check out Flutter, or you can look at some of the other ones, but I highly recommend Flutter over everything else. So this is Alan from Plangora. Please subscribe if you haven't, so you can catch the upcoming Flutter tutorials. And I'll catch you guys next time. Thanks. Bye. Hi. Please feel free to ask us any questions about Elixir, Flutter, or anything else in programming. Here's our YouTube channel, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. We'll answer your questions every Friday. Ya man tai ge dak man all. Yo wenti ji da wen wo.